Hello, everybody. We are back again for another exciting, as always, episode of Movies, Music, and Middle Age. Hello, everybody. Hello, Jordan.
Hello there.
He he's excited. We are coming to you. Well, it's Saturday night for us. It might be Sunday for you. It might be Monday, Tuesday, etc. But we are excited. We're back for another episode of our versus format. Right? We had done one before versus. It was the Tim Burton Batman movies versus the Christopher Nolan Batman movies. And we are doing another of that format. But do you want to tell them what we're going to be doing today? What the battle is this week, Jordan?
This is, I've been waiting for this one. This
Yes.
is Star Wars versus Star Trek.
Star
The
Wars versus Star Trek. The
We will
nerds
solve the
fight.
battle tonight.
It is a
The,
battle to the death of the nerds.
the Phantom Nerds.
The star, the star nerds. Yeah, Star Wars, everybody versus Star Trek. So I want to add some clarification here. So not that it really matters, but we have decided not to include any of the animated stuff, right? And so no cartoons or any of
Broke
the
my
newer.
heart.
Yeah, it's all
Broke my
live.
heart.
Well, it's all live action stuff, right? But with that being said, it's any movies, any TV shows, anything, just live action, right? So, and again, it could be the
Human
original
beings. We
series.
can't, I mean, I can't even talk about the Christmas special now, which was the greatest Christmas special
That
of all time.
because that would have swayed it. That would have the
We need next
Chewbacca.
Christmas. That's one of our Christmas
I'm in. I'm in.
episodes.
Okay,
I've
yes,
actually
we
seen that
would.
movie three times. Okay, but continue.
Yes, we won't be including the yeah. Okay, so yes, so that's important clarification or maybe not. Right. Okay. So the way this format works, if you haven't heard the old one, right, is we're basically going to have different questions about the TV shows and the movies, right? And then we decide, we talk about, okay, which one was the better X, which one was the better Y, which one was the better Z, right? And then we're going to
Yes.
tally up the points. Jordan gets 1 point for each question. I get 1 point for each question. We tally it up. And then we see who is the winner. So Jordan doesn't know the questions. I do know the
The
questions,
the
which is actually
winner without any no one can complain. This is it. This is going to decide it
this is it. This
once
is
and for all.
there's no there's never been any debate amongst the nerd groups in the past 50 years of which one was better. This is actually people are surprised that this is even a question. Like I thought they were all
Like
the same.
what? Thought we
Okay,
solved this back in the 80s.
get a life. Okay, all right. Question number one. Are you
Number
ready?
one.
Number
Was born
one.
ready.
Better which movie or TV show or series had the better or has the better introduction to the characters, right? So which one
Oh.
introduces the characters
Um,
better?
I mean, listen, I think it needs to go. We need to say right off the bat that while I do enjoy Star Trek, and I
Hmm.
have many fond memories of Star Trek and
Okay.
watched many TV show episodes and movies, I am a Star Wars person all the way. If we're talking about introductions, I don't know what introduction in Star Trek could exist that is greater than the introduction of Darth Vader. I
Okay.
don't think it exists.
Okay. Or the introduction to whoever, right? Han
And I mean,
Solo
you can do
or
the introduction between like, well, when did he get introduced? I can spit multiple examples. Do you want to say when he gets introduced in Rogue One? Are we talking about introduced for the first time?
whatever
So then,
examples
holy
you're choosing to
shit.
talk about. I mean, obviously we
Holy
can't talk about
shit.
all of them, right? But just in general, which one would you
Stop
say
myself.
as a series, right, or a film universe or TV universe has the better all introduction to these characters?
I guess we could talk about the 15-minute introduction in Star Trek the Motion Picture to the Enterprise.
Or as it was, or as the movie is
That
known in
was
some circles, Star Trek. So the real title of that movie is actually no one calls it this, right? But it's called Star Trek: The Motion Picture, right? But
they literally lingered on that Enterprise longer than Quentin Tarantino would linger on Uma
Uma-
Thurman's feet.
so some people call it Star Trek: The Slow Motion Picture.
It was it was sexual in nature. But anyway,
Well, I mean,
it's like,
yes,
oh,
but
look at the curves on that
my
hull.
guess was,
Mm,
this was the 70s, and they
mm.
probably spent 10% of their budget on that model. So
The
like
movie itself was 45 minutes long, and they're like, we really need to fucking
V'ger.
throw in a 30-minute slow-mo
I'm going to
of
be honest
this.
with you. I one of the hardest challenge or the biggest challenges that I've ever had as far as these movies go, right? Not in life, right? But with these movies as my son watches a lot of movies with me, right? So that's a perfect example. Is that I don't know where to start, right? You can just start with Star Wars. Sorry, Star Wars. You can throw on whatever, right? A New Hope, if you want to call it that, right? You can throw on the
Yes.
first Star Wars movie, and you're like within 10 minutes, you know what to do. I don't. If I had never, and I haven't actually, not having shown my son Star Trek, I can't throw in the motion picture. He's gonna be like, who? Why is this man with the pointy ears suddenly jumping on the ship?
What are these
Why?
middle? Why are we
No,
watching a movie
but
about middle-aged men?
seriously, I don't know where to. I
Like the
genuinely
40 or
don't know where to even
50-year-olds getting
start.
on a ship. No, the Star Trek movie universe is a continuation of the television show.
Correct.
So so people can be like, my wife was like, when my eldest daughter wants to watch a Marvel movie for the first time, I'm like, well, you got to start. You can't just go here. You got to go there because you're gonna forget that. My wife's like, can't you just watch any of them? Now, she's right.
Right.
I say that quite often. I think you could also do the same thing for Star Wars. You can put on any one, whether it's four or one or nine. You pretty much don't need. You wouldn't had to have need to watch more than those, but you can't watch Star Trek the motion picture having not at least
Agreed.
done a Google search on who the
Yeah.
fuck these people are.
I don't know, other than watching at least a handful of, well, if you're talking about the original series, right? The original series episodes and then the movies or the next generation and then the next generation movies. I don't think you could just put on any of the movies without somebody telling you, oh, well, he's the captain and he's Worf and he's you know what I mean? I don't know how you can, I don't know. So anyway, I think I know where your vote's gonna be. I'm gonna say mine. I'm gonna have to go with Star Wars on this one.
Yes,
Will you agree?
as will I. Yes,
Okay. All right.
absolutely.
So
Two nothing.
Star Wars is coming out of the gate strong,
A,
folks, with
a two-pointer
that's a two
for
pointer.
Star Wars.
Okay, so that was the first question. Okay. All right. So let's go on to the next question, question number two. And
Ooh,
this is going to be a much bigger debate.
oh
Which
boy.
movies and or TV shows, but probably the movies, right? Had the better directors across the movies. So I'll throw some out there, food for thought, and then you can kind of kick it back. So at Star Trek, you had people like J.J. Abrams, right? You had Leonard Nimoy. You had William Shatner directed, right? A couple or one. Jonathan Frakes directed. A lot of cast members actually in Star Trek wound up directing
Oh
movies.
yeah.
Star Wars, you had George Lucas, you had Irvin Kershner, you had Ryan Johnson, right? Um, so food for
J.J.
thought.
Abrams again.
So yeah. Oh, did he? Did he do? Which one did he
He did
do?
two of
I'm
them.
sorry. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. He can't double dip like that.
he did. He double dipped. Double
So
dipped.
where would you like to start? I'll throw it back to you, and then I'll say what I want to say.
Jesus Christ. This is, I mean,
And again, it doesn't. It could be legacy. It could be the way they shoot the movies. It could be their how their individual movies did in the series as far as popularity. Whatever you want to say. I have my opinions, but I'm curious what you have to say about any of these.
um, crap, this is difficult. So, I mean, do I give a point or deduct the point in my thinking for the fact that because Lucas liked that weird wipe that they had to do it on in every movie
The
and TV
weird.
show for the end of time, the thing you can do on PowerPoint
Oh.
presentations where it goes from right to left or left to
Yes,
right
yes,
across
yes,
the
yes, yeah,
screen.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Every
yeah. I know what you're talking
transition
about.
has to be that. Um, or him going back and doing all that CGI stuff to his other movies. That's not really directing.
I mean, Irvin
But I mean,
Kershner, in my opinion, directed the best of the Star Wars movies in
and
Empire
the
Strikes
fact
Back.
that you also have Abrams kind of puts those two at a wash, um, the newer Trek and the newer Star Wars as well. Um, but I think I'm gonna have to go the better directors belong to Star Wars.
Okay.
Uh, Ryan Johnson, I think he's a great director. Like you said, Irvin Kershner, I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
legendary director. Um,
Of RoboCop 2 fame as well.
yes, great. Better than the first? Well, you have to watch it yourself. Um, I mean, what else has William Shatner directed?
Nothing, nothing. No. Well, so you know the
Yes,
story behind that.
that was almost like a well, I mean, here
He
you
directed
can
the fan
you can do
favorite
it.
Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. What does God need with a starship? Why is God angry?
I don't understand. Yeah, it's
Well, so
uh
he legitimately, this is not a joke. Um, so spoiler alert, Spock dies in Star Trek 2, and
no.
yes, and he didn't really want to even do the movies anymore, and they wanted to bring him back, and he said, "I'll do Star Trek 3 if you let me direct it." And then again, that was successful, so he did the fourth one, and then William Shatner said, "Hey." Why does he get to be the only one that directs movies? And again, I'm not even being funny, right? So they said, okay, fine, we'll let you do, Star Trek 5. So uh, I actually think Leonard Nimoy is a pretty solid director, all kidding aside. I mean, he did do, I mean, whatever. I mean, it's not a great movie, but he also did Three Men and a Little Baby. He did Star Trek 3, which actually is my favorite of the original series movies.
That was the
And
whales.
that was Star Trek 4. That was
Star Trek
Voyage
4. I
Home.
gotta
Star Trek
yeah,
3 was
I
the
got
Search for Spock,
that's right. That's right.
which is
I was gonna pick
basically
up I was gonna pick up my mouse and say computer.
computer. Hello, computer. Oh, a keyboard. How quaint. Um, I mean, Star Trek 2 and Star Trek 3 are basically one long movie, but oh God, I hate doing this. This one, I don't. This one is like I'm gonna have to say Star Wars. I really hate doing this. Star Trek is getting its ass kicked right now.
Yeah.
That
Uh,
one,
uh,
this one's not really clear cut for me. I feel like this is like a 51-49 decision for me on this one, if I'm being honest. Even though George Lucas, oh God, he's not a great director.
he isn't,
It
but I
really
think
isn't.
that the other three,
Yeah.
I'd say, and I also don't know who directed the prequels. So it could be, did Lucas do?
He did, yeah,
And then you have
he definitely
Andor.
he
Yeah,
did
no,
the
you
Phantom
have Rogue
Menace.
One. You have Rogue One,
Rogue One
beautifully
is
directed. I
actually
mean, that's
I love that movie. I know a lot of people
Ron
don't, but I love
Howard
the movie.
directed Solo,
Well, he got brought
which
in after the fact because they
yeah, but
got rid of
it's
the
not a
first guy.
bad. It's
No,
a
yeah,
pretty entertaining movie, if I'm being honest.
I'm not a solo guy, but I didn't hate it. It's not my favorite, but we'll let it go. All right. All right. Number three. Anything else you want to say about the directors?
No, no, that was hard,
Okay,
but
that's what she said. Okay, number three.
but
Bum. Yes, who? That's such a new joke in 2026. All right. The
be
okay. Which
careful
one?
with that one. It's an antique. Eh.
Take my wife, please. Which again, TV show or movies had the better actors, male or female actors? I'm combining
Oh,
male and female into cast. Better cast. Okay, let's say
better cast.
not the
I
characters
mean,
that they're playing, the actors, right? The better quality of actors, not their fictional characters they're playing, the better
no,
actors.
no, I get it. But I mean, so if I'm starting with wars, as much as I love
Star Wars. Give me the
nothing but Star,
ba da
for
da
for the
da.
for those of you
Those
listening who
those near and far
enjoy
wars.
70s SNL,
The
so
last time it was good.
ah,
All
I
right, go
don't
ahead.
understand these newfound
All right, so
cast
let's. How
members.
about we just start naming some Star Wars?
I mean,
Harrison
Harrison
Ford,
Ford,
right? I mean,
Carrie
an
Fisher.
icon of cinema. Yes, Carrie Fisher, who was
I mean,
a
Harrison Ford,
probably a
fucking
better writer than she was
Indiana
an actress.
Jones. Yep, true. And also in another movie that we talked about already, um, When Harry Met Sally.
Yes. Sorry, yes, I drew a blank, but yes, Harry Met Sally. Yes.
Um, Adam Driver, really good actor.
Oh,
Um,
and Billy D. Williams
Billy D. Williams, indeed.
of Colt
Uh,
45 fame.
I really, it was
Warwick
because of those
Davis.
commercials. It's because of those commercials I drank one
Yeah,
once before,
nice
and
cold 45.
that was a
We have Warwick
mistake.
Davis.
Warwick
Um,
Davis, he's been in literally every science fiction movie that I could think of.
and
Uh,
who played? Oh my God, who played in Rogue One the actor who was also in Casino Royale? Mads
Mads
Mikkelsen.
Milks, yeah, yeah.
He's a great actor.
Also in that one was Felicity Jones and Diego Luna. Diego Luna is
Yes,
very good.
yes.
Alan Tudyk, who does the voice of everyone.
We are. Star Trek is getting its ass to do it tonight.
F Forrest Whitaker, Ben
Oh,
Mendelsohn. This is
yes,
just Rogue One.
yes. What about? I know where does it go
Jimmy
ahead, go
Jimmy Smits
ahead. Jimmy
as
Smith.
Bail Jimmy Smits Organa.
He did a good job in those movies. I like Jimmy
I
Smith
just
in that movies.
I just liked him in Revenge of the Sith when he goes to okay as something like that, like he's like step away, Senator. Like he says something, and he just walks away. It's
No,
funny to me.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Sam Jackson, Frank Oz,
Yes, Samuel L. Jackson. Hockey for Hayden Christensen. No,
Ewan McGregor. Don't no, I won't take any Hayden Christensen hate. Natalie Portman.
no, no. Hold me like you did on Naboo, Annie.
I don't
Oh
like
my
sand.
God. Who play? Why can't I
Rough
think of?
and it's coarse and it
I
gets
like it
everywhere.
smooth,
Like
rough.
it's here in Naboo.
I hate.
I know when you first met me, I was 9, but baby, you really grew up.
I killed them all. There's so many of them, Master.
That should have been a red flag for her. But
What
anyway,
was who played the young in Phantom Menace? Why I can see his face like he's in front of me. Who played young Anakin Skywalker? Why can't I
Jake
think of
Lloyd.
Jake Lloyd, right? Another great
Jake
actor.
Lloyd. No, he had hard.
Okay, so
He had rough times.
let's go back to
Star
Star Wars.
Wars. No,
Well,
Star
okay, wait.
Trek.
Sorry, Star Trek, Star Trek. Patrick Stewart, I feel like on his own can eliminate like his power alone cuts off like 25% of that list, man.
Patrick
Patrick,
Stewart is yes.
you
Yes.
got to give respect
But
to Patrick Stewart.
but okay, so Patrick
LeVar
Stewart,
Burton is actually a very good actor, in
LeVar
my
Burton,
opinion.
yeah. Is
Um,
William Shatner a good actor, or because William Shatner is William Shatner, everyone just goes, "Oh, it's William Shatner," and therefore they put him up. Is he a bigger
here's the
name as the fact that he's Shatner than as an actor?
yeah, like Christopher Walken is Christopher Walken. Yeah, I'll say this. I think William Shatner is a much better actor than people give him credit for. I think he gets a little bit of a bum rap, but I think with that being said, in my opinion, he is perfect for this role. You know what I mean? I can't
Yes,
picture anybody else
but I just
playing that
picture him
role.
as now as Zap Brannigan from Futurama, which you probably didn't watch because of the cartoon.
No, I was a little,
Um,
yeah, that wasn't my bag. I'm trying to
Leonard
think.
Nimoy, but
Yeah,
I mean
Leonard Nimoy.
George
Uh,
Takei or
yes,
Takai.
yes, yes. However, you would prefer to.
Well, I mean, I think he says it's pronounced one way. I just don't remember. I think
I'm
it's
sorry.
Takai.
I just have this memory of him always being on Howard Stern, calling in.
Oh
Do you
my.
do you remember
Oh my.
my book, Howard, To the Stars? Captain Sulu of the Excelsior. He always thought that was a joke. Was like you're Captain
Yes.
Sulu of the Excelsior for
Yes.
about 6 minutes, man.
But
Yeah,
then but then we if we talk about the new Trek, we
yes.
got Simon Pegg and Chris Pine,
Chris Pine.
um, Carl Urban, who almost hit like the geekdom trifecta. He just needs to get, I think he played a stormtrooper
Can we not
in one
forget
of the,
Wheaton? Will Wheaton?
why are you pronouncing it that way?
Will Wheaton.
Yes, Will
And
Wheaton likes Cool Whip.
cool. Say cool, cool. Say whip, whip. Say cool, cool whip. Brent
Zoe
Spiner.
Saldana, John Cho,
Oh,
John
yes,
Cho, excuse me.
yes. Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
this is
I mean,
hard.
look,
I
it's
feel like
hard
it's a
because
generational thing. I feel like it's a generational thing. I think,
I think I'll say Harrison Ford's iconic place in cinema is a wash with Patrick. I'm not saying they're the same kind of actor at all. I'm just saying the way that where
the
they're
level.
respected. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna throw one this is again. This is a close one. I'm gonna throw one Star Trek's way. I'm just gonna do it. I think it needs a point.
I hate to continually just agree, but I think in the larger breadth of work. Oh, but now I'm like Sir Alec Guinness. Um, I forgot about him. It,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh,
But you have Sir Patrick Stewart,
I know. I'm
who
gonna
obviously, to all due respect to Al Guinness, played a much larger role, recurring role
correct.
in Star Trek than
Um,
he did in.
oh, James Earl Jones is Darth Vader.
Well,
Shit.
the voice.
Okay,
You
you know
don't have to
what?
agree. I'm gonna go with.
I
I'm gonna throw
know.
one Star Trek's way.
I know the problem is it's a lot, there's a lot of actors that are in Star Wars that you're like, and that's all they did. No, you know what? Shit. I'm gonna still go back to Star Wars because I'm thinking about
All right. So
Woody
it's
Harrelson was in Solo.
five to
Um,
one for
and you had a lot of people who were in both. I just don't, I can't
they've
think Sir Patrick Stewart can trump as many.
He
So
carries a
I'm
lot of
thinking
weight
about
though. But
the
yes.
sequels too. You have Oscar Isaac.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
That's okay. Listen, we'll give it.
yeah.
Star Wars has come to play
The
today.
problem is that I am very biased, but
Star Wars
oh
has
well.
come to play. All right, so it's 5-1 Star Wars after three questions with a lot more to go. All right, so number four, best supporting characters. So I know this might be a little bit of a gray line, but right. So you're Captain Kirk as your main, right? You're Han Solo. Those are main characters,
Yeah,
right? More
yeah.
of the secondary. You're Scotty. You're Bones. You're Chewie, right? Which franchise had the better secondary supporting characters?
Mhm.
Trek had
So
Scotty, Bones, Sulu, Uhura. Star Wars had
I
Chewie,
think I'd
Lando,
have to
Boba Fett.
go.
Boba Fett.
I hmm, I think my gut told me Star Trek. I think the supporting characters in Star Trek
Hmm.
are iconic.
I agree.
That's not to say that their supporting characters in Star Wars aren't, because
Yeah,
you
of
have
course.
characters like Chewbacca and R2D2 and C3PO. But when you get to some of the other movies, there's not as many supporting characters. Like, I'm trying to think of who's a supporting character in the sequels, and it's kind of like, oh, hey,
Well,
I
that's
don't know
proving your
that
point, right?
person's name.
Right.
Exactly.
You're almost
I don't
proving
know
your
this
own point. Yeah.
perfect name, but
Yeah.
uh yeah, they look familiar. In the prequels, again, who was the supporting character? Padme's handmaidens, like
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Boss Nass, Jar Jar Binks. I'm not
Watto.
doing any accent on
What
this.
about Watto?
Any.
Can we do
I
Watto?
I think I can get away with the Watto
What about the other
accent.
one? Do you care about the Naboo?
I can't get away with those accents. We talk
Needs to
about
know.
is that one
Needs
of
to
the
know.
questions?
Care
Which one
about the
has the
no.
most racist
Naboo.
accents? I could
Well,
do
you have
Watto's
you
though.
have Data. You have Worf. You
They're
have
not.
Troy. Right. You have Bones. You have
Your
Sulu.
Jedi mind tricks don't work on me, only credits. I had to think about it for a second to see whether or not I could do it, and I feel
That was
like
actually
I'm
really
able
good.
to.
That was
Well,
really
there's a
good.
reason why it's really good.
Yes,
I
that was a
think we know what he was written to be like.
yes, yes. He was yes. Okay.
Eh,
I'm gonna go with Star Trek on this one as well. What are you saying? Are you going with Star Trek?
yes, I'm going with Star Trek only because Watto totally offended me.
And they had a lot of, even a lot of interactions, right? This big secondary relationship between Bones and Spock and things like that. So I'm gonna give it to Star Trek.
They
Star
had
Trek,
whole arcs. Star Trek secondary
yes.
characters had whole arcs. Um, I think the only arc Watto had was being totally okay with the bombing of the Tusken Raiders. Um,
All right. So we'll give it 5-3. The score
damn
currently
you,
stands
Watto.
Star Wars 5, Star Trek 3. Okay. Anything else about the act? Sorry. Anything else about
No,
the
let's
supporting
stop.
characters?
Let's move
Okay.
on
Yeah, before we get
before I do
canceled
other
here.
accents.
Okay. This one's gonna be maybe tough, maybe not. All right. Bet which franchise has the better soundtrack? I feel like this might be an
That's
easy one, but maybe not. I know where
I
you're gonna go. Go ahead. Just go. Just run with it.
I mean, so here's the thing. Star Wars doesn't have a theremin.
Outside of John Williams.
Star Wars doesn't have any theremins.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here's my question too. Do you know any of the music from any Star Trek show that isn't the main ones? Like, can you just start humming Deep Space Nine or Voyager or uh,
So this is unfair. So okay, well, first
Enterprise or
to answer your question, as far as the TV show themes, no. As far as and this one's a little bit unfair because I'm actually a huge movie soundtrack nerd, not kidding at all. I love the soundtrack for the Star Trek movies. I love James Horner. Yeah, I love those movies.
the
Jerry
new
Goldsmith
Star
is
Trek
another
had
great composer.
Sabotage on their soundtrack, so you got that.
It's I don't It's a question of do I pick John Williams from Star Wars because it's John Williams and that's just what you're supposed. Listen, the march, right? You're right, dun 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 dun
The
dun,
Imperial
right?
March,
Yes, the Imperial
Vader's,
March. I mean, those are. I
Leia's.
mean, there are people who know that who don't even know what Star Wars is, right? Those themes are iconic. But am I picking it because they're just iconic, or am I picking them because I like them? I don't know. I mean, John Williams obviously is the. But here, let me ask you the question. for any of, I mean, have there been any movies? I'm assuming it's the much later ones. I know he did the prequels, but did he do the newer ones? Did he do
I
Force
believe yes.
Awakens?
And he
Did
was
he?
also, I believe
But has he done
they gave him a
Solo and
cameo
Rogue
too.
One? Has he done the new
He
ones?
definitely hasn't done the TV shows, I don't think, because the TV shows have different themes.
Okay.
Um, but I'm fairly certain he's done all the movies.
I'm gonna say
I think even
that
going so far as to coming out of retirement, but I could be completely making that shit up.
trying to be okay. So I'll do two things here. To be objective, I will objectively admit that the John Williams music is culturally, it's just iconic, right? Everybody knows it. It's much more popular. I'm not going to deny that because that wouldn't be fair. But if I'm being subjective and saying which ones do I prefer, I actually Star Trek 2 soundtrack, Star Trek 3 soundtrack. I love those. I've listened to them actually very frequently. I own them on physical
Duel of the
formats.
Fates, bro. Duel of the
I'm
Fates.
gonna go with Star Trek, but that's my subjective bias of I just genuinely like a lot of those soundtracks and I
See, I was gonna
listen to them and
ask
own
you
them.
if there was like musically, if the soundtracks, like if you had a there was something different. It's like, oh, the way that they're mixing the blah blah blah, but it just
John
seems like
Williams
it's
has
a
a little
gut
more
feeling.
pomp. It's a little more pomp and circumstance. His music, right? It's very uppity and there's not a
Yes.
lot of. It sounds like everything sounds like a march, a physical march with the beat, boom, 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 that kind of thing, right? But
Yes.
okay, I'll give it to Star Trek. I'm assuming you're going Star Wars. Am I
I'm going
correct on
to
that one?
I literally in the entire month of May for the May the 4th be with you. I generally listen to just like Star Wars music and I'll listen to remixes of songs and a bunch of other shit.
Mashups? Any mashups?
Not
No mashups.
there's a really great mashup with the Mario Kart thing. No.
It's closing the gap here, though. It was they were running away with it, but Star Wars is only up 6-4 right now. Okay, question number six. Are you ready? Anything else with the soundtracks, or we're good on that one?
No. No, no, no.
Number six. Which again, this is totally subjective. Which would you say has the better rewatch value?
This is objective.
Yes, of course,
Objectively,
of course. We've proven it. We've done tests. We've had a firm research this for us.
I feel like I'm a Star Wars homer. So I would if I was sick as a kid
Hmm.
back in the 80s and 90s. Um,
Well, you watch Prices Right at 11 o'clock.
I process, yes, Price is Right, 100%. But there were times when I would just go, I'm just going to watch all three movies, and I would just
Okay.
watch them. Back then, when there were only three movies to choose from,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I would just watch all three of them over again. I would spend a day just watching them. Now, that's not to say if Star Trek wasn't on, I'd probably, but would the same be said for some of the Next Generation movies?
Yeah. I
Probably
like.
not.
Yeah.
Star
I
Wars
like.
for me is I'll
First
watch
Contact
any
was
Star
really good.
Wars at any point, at any time. If someone was like, dude, I'm putting on Attack of the Clones, you want to watch? Be like, "Fuck, yeah, I'll watch it.
Attack of the Clones. That's the one for you.
No, I'm
Yeah.
just saying, well, I was using that as like, I'd watch any of them.
I I think I mentioned this a couple times actually at this point, but I did work at a video store for a number of years, and I would be there for 8 hours at a time by myself, and I would do exactly what you said, right? Oh, I'm here. Oh, on Saturday I'll be there for 8 hours. I'll put on all the Indiana Jones movies, or I'll put on all the Batman movies, or I'll put on all the Star Wars, and I would watch them in order, right? Just because I had nothing better to do. And I definitely went more towards Star Wars than Star Trek. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to give this one to subjectively to Star Wars. I that's not a I it's not a question of I don't like right the other ones, but
If now the thing is, if we're talking rewatch value, like I think the TV show for Star Trek is infinitely more rewatchable
agreed.
than the Star Wars TV shows, which I enjoy. Like Andor, I watched. I thought it was fucking brilliant. I would suggest anyone watch it hasn't yet. But will I watch those 10 more times? No. But if Next Generation's on, well, I'm probably gonna keep it on because they had like 500 episodes, and chances are you haven't seen the one they're airing on TV
We
in
could do a first here. We could give
25 years.
another free point out to Star Trek if you want.
Um,
Throw a wild card point out there.
I'm still going
Okay,
with Star
that's fair.
Wars.
I'll go with Star Wars too. Okay, eight for Star Wars, four for Star Trek. We are on question number seven. Are you ready here?
I am ready.
Which franchise has the better villains? You had
Ooh.
your Khan, right, for Star Trek. You had the Vulcans, you had the Romulans, and you had V'ger, ha ha ha, in Star Trek, the motion picture, right? Star Wars, Jabba the Hutt, Darth Vader, Boba Fett, the Emperor, the Empire, whoever, right? I think I know which way I'm leaning, but go ahead. I'll let you kick it off.
Uh, I mean, again, outside of Khan,
Yep.
I feel like the villains in Star Trek were more, I don't know if evil. It
Oh, I
was
forgot the
generally
Borg. I forgot
it
the
was
Borg.
the
Sorry.
Borg. Okay, the Borg is fucking right up there. A lot of the stuff in Star Trek was, I think,
An idea.
elevated higher,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
right? Sometimes it was just ideology or border
Yep.
wars
Yep. Yep.
or straight up racism, but
Yeah.
with so I think the villains there were of a different type,
It was a little bit
and
deeper, a little
the
more philosophical.
it
Yeah.
was nuanced, philosophical,
Yeah.
etc. Star Wars, while there are political, well, the whole fucking thing is political, but there's a whole group of people who refuse to see that.
The original three movies, not so much, but
The
yeah.
original, I mean, if
It-
I'm not mistaken, the Ewoks are adorable Viet Cong. Um,
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Well,
but
it was
in the
much more
Empire,
blatant in the prequels, but yes.
yes, and we're clearly living through the Empire currently. But um, if we're talking, I mean, iconic.
Yeah.
It's Star Wars. I mean,
Yeah.
the biggest villain in Star Trek was Khan. Everything else was just
I
kind of
mean, I
like
think that's
they
the
were fighting with the
only
Klingons, but now they're
yeah.
not fighting with the
Well, the Borg,
Klingons
so
because the Borg is the big bad, but is
I
the
would say
Borg bigger than the Empire?
the Khan is the big bad of the OG Star Trek, and the Borg
Yes,
is the big bad of the Next Generation Star Trek. And I'm not
yes.
gonna worry about Deep Space Nine and all
Or
that other
Benedict
stuff.
Cumberbatch as Khan
Oh
in the
God,
new
no.
movies.
I like Ben, but not, I like him, but not in that movie. But yeah, yeah. I think Khan individually is maybe cooler than well, not than Darth Vader, right? So I shouldn't say that, right? But yeah, I have to give it to Star Wars on this one. I think
Yeah,
are we in agreement on that one?
yes, yes.
Yep, we are. Wow, 10-4, ladies and gentlemen. It started out hot, and then it
Is
got.
there any way for Star Trek to come back?
Let's see. We have four more questions, so there are eight more points up on the board. Yes, they can come
Okay,
back.
they can
It's
come back.
possible.
I don't see it.
He doesn't see. Listen, you don't want to write off Star Trek at your peril, right? It's still they're still in the game. Okay, so moving on to the next question here. Question number eight.
Number
W-
8.
Number eight. Which franchise had the better costumes? And that could be for anybody. It doesn't necessarily need to be, the Federation, just costumes in general, but it can be the main characters, whatever you want to look at it.
Okay,
You weren't expecting
so
that one, were you?
I wasn't. I wasn't. Uh, so I'm gonna completely, besides for the iconic crew costumes, I kind of want to throw out the entire original Star Trek because every other costume was just a an example of its time and probably
Yeah.
money.
I
And
mean, I
it
think that
was
could be said for the original Star Wars movie too, though, for being fair.
yes, yes. It was like what could we get because we don't have the budget to spend it on the costumes.
Right, right.
Um, we spent the entire budget on Darth Vader and a couple of
That,
suits for the Imperials and
that
everything
was it.
else. You're just
Although,
gonna wear a
although the
white robe.
stormtrooper, I shouldn't say it, the stormtrooper outfits in the original Star Wars movies are pretty
That
iconic in their own right.
yes, yes. Um, I feel I'm probably going to give the nod to Star Trek only because of the fact those uniforms throughout all the movies and TV shows
Yeah,
are just, if you're making a parody of a space crew on a ship,
Star Trek is
chances are they're
yeah,
wearing
the source
color-coded
material.
outfits.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the
Um,
source material, right? At that point.
so I mean that while the costumes are cool, the stormtroopers, Darth Vader's look is fucking iconic. I could throw in other characters, but sometimes they're iconic iconic status is based on other factors, like Darth Maul. His iconic look isn't costume, it's his face.
Yeah, it's makeup really at
Um,
that point,
well,
rather than
that's what I
yeah,
mean. It's
yeah.
not a
It's not
costume.
what he's wearing. I mean, I couldn't even tell you what he's wearing.
He's
It's
wearing
black
black
and red.
robes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
um, so I would have to, even with something like Vader's costume.
I mean, that costume almost shouldn't even count because that is just iconic in cinema. Forget these two
Correct.
movies. That's just
That's
yeah.
why I'm going with Star Trek just because of the the costumes of the crew. So
Okay. All right. No, I will. Like I said, I mean, I know you can't because, and that's not really the way this works. But I guess at the same time, we can because it's our podcast and we do whatever the
we
hell
do
we
whatever the
want.
fuck
But
we want, god damn it.
I feel like you got to take Darth Vader out of it because that's everybody on planet Earth who's ever watched a movie knows what that is,
I
right?
mean,
So,
Han Solo's costume is so iconic that every fall white women dress like that and get pumpkin spice lattes at Starbucks.
braid their
I'm one of
hair.
them, but
You're one of them.
I'm one of them.
All right,
Uh,
I'm gonna go with Star Trek on this one too. We'll give them a fighting chance. They're back in it. They're right back in it. It's 10-6. Yeah, yeah. And they really did put a lot of in the the movies with William Shatner, right? Those original movies with the original cast. They had not that anybody really cares, but they had on their pins, right? There's probably a name for it, right? They actually worked out, okay, well, you're an admiral, so you have this insignia, right? You're
yes.
a
Yes.
whatever. You're a captain, you have this insignia, right? You're a commander, you have this one, right? They took
Yes.
the time to actually do. I don't know if they did that in Star Trek, maybe Star Wars, maybe they did. I don't think
I
they did.
mean, I would have to really deep dive into whether or not all the medallions and stuff
Yeah.
that they wore wasn't just because I mean Star Wars is also notorious for none of the alien languages. They're all gibberish, whereas Star
Yeah.
Trek was like, we spent the last 16
Yeah,
years
they had
developing
actual
Klingon.
linguists. Yeah, yeah, linguists. Yeah, yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep,
well,
yep.
we have our characters go Ukalana Babu Basuka, and that means get away from him, Chewie. So there you go.
I used to be in a band with this kid. It's a short
Oh,
aside
oh,
here.
oh, oh, oh.
Who he could
So
do the scenes from Return of the Jedi with Jabba, but I could do a couple words. I know a couple words here and there.
Kawawuki.
Yes, right,
Oh,
exactly.
oh,
But he
oh,
could do
oh.
the whole scene, but he would do it. He would quote it. I'm like, how? I don't even know.
He memorized
Yes,
Huttese.
yes, yes. It was
Nice.
amazing. And yeah, yeah, super
That got
nerddom.
him laid.
No, it did not. It did not. He was on the. Yeah, I should just stop right now. Okay. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna go with
That doesn't
Star
get you laid.
Trek.
What the fuck does,
Yeah,
man?
if speaking hut doesn't get you laid, folks, you need to reevaluate your life. All right, two more points for Star Trek
Perhaps try
is not
Klingon.
try Klingon. Well, if you find another Star Wars,
Star Trek.
I know the star, the everything starting with star. I'm just gonna start. Actually, you know what? Going for the rest of this podcast, I'm just gonna call it Wars and Trek, right? Because it's just screwing me up. Yes, if you find another Star Trek nerd who speaks Klingon and happens to be a female or male, whatever, that'll definitely work in your favor. But if they're not, then good luck. All right, there's 3 questions left. We have 11 questions in total. We're on question number 9. The next question, Jordan, for you and for me, is which one had the bigger cultural impact?
Um, I feel like that might be where so my gut says Star Wars immediately. Um,
Yeah, I would agree with you on that one.
movies, uh, music,
Middle
and
age.
yeah.
Sorry. Sorry. You just, yeah.
Shameless self-plug.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I feel like culturally it was and still is the bigger uh medium, or not the medium, the bigger franchise. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think
Yeah.
it continues to resonate more because, and I've been thinking about this, uh, we are so much closer. Take away the space travel and the space wizards. There's so many things about Star Wars that still resonates today, where people will post, fight the Empire and
Yeah.
shit
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Whereas
Well,
Star Trek, no, hear me out on this.
Yeah.
culturally, Star Trek is the future we all want.
Right.
Star Wars is the future we're the closest to,
Yeah.
but we're
Yes.
getting very close to the future of aliens. Anyway,
Yeah.
my point being, I think culturally, Star Wars is the bigger is the bigger of the two franchises. Kids today, you don't see kids today doing live long and prosper. That's what
Yes.
I mean.
Yes. I don't think there's much debate on this one. I mean, almost even hesitate to throw this out as a question, but I think it's a valid question. But I don't think there is a debate. I think in the public consciousness, right? Pop culture, whatever, it's definitely Star Wars. But and it doesn't change the answer, but I just want to throw this out there. I do think that the property, right, the IP in this case, has been better managed with Star Wars
100%. Star Trek disappeared for forever for just it seemed like no reason, and then it came back with a bunch, and now they just
because
started canceling a bunch of the shows, and it's like, what do they don't even know what to do with the
that's
property.
the
It's like
right. There
Sony
is
with
still a
Marvel. They have no idea what to
massive
do with it.
there's a massive amount of Star Trek fans out there. They are it's large. They're out there, right? It's just I don't even know who owns this. Paramount still own it? I don't think,
I think
right?
so. But who owns Paramount?
Well, yeah, well, who
Does
right? Six. It's a subsidiary
who
of like eight
watches
other
The
companies.
Watchmen? I don't know at this
Um,
point who owns
yeah,
what.
it's definitely Star Wars, but fair or not is doesn't really matter. I do think it's because, you know, one franchise got bought by Disney and, just milked it for everything it was worth. And I think
Yes.
people just, I think they were on the start of a right path when they did the, J.J. Abrams reboot, if you will,
Yeah.
with
And
Chris
they let
Pine.
it
I
go
think there
after
was
three.
potential there, and I think they just fumbled the ball, and nobody's known what to do with it since. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give it to Star Wars. I don't really think it's much of a debate here. And now it might be out of reach for Star Trek, but we're
Wow.
still gonna finish,
I
folks.
had a
Don't
feeling it
worry.
was never going to be in reach for them, even before we started. But
Okay, this is like the 1990s Dream Team playing Lithuania in the 90s. But
hey,
okay,
Lithuania, that happens to
I
be.
apologize to any Lithuanian people out there who had to face off against Jordan and
You're
Pippen.
talking.
And
You're talking to. Well, I didn't play them, but I have Lithuanian
I
background.
was like, did you
How
play
dare
them? Were
you?
you were on? They probably would have put you on the Lithuanian team. All right. All right.
Put me
Next
in,
to last
coach.
question. Question number 10. All right. A little more fun with this one. Which one has the better video games?
Put more fun with this one because this whole podcast has been shit right now. But let's have some fun.
Oh, we were talking about like political, socioeconomic
Don't
and
get me started. Fight the
philosophy.
Empire. I'll just
Yes,
start.
this
I'll
is
just spend the last 5 minutes reciting quotes from Andor. Get myself really in the spirit. Uh, what Star Trek games exist?
there that's a good question. There was Starfleet Academy was a game. I don't think any have been made recently, at least as far that stick out. I mean, can you think of any
Probably a
Star
mobile
Trek
game.
games? I do remember playing Star Trek Academy.
There's probably a mobile game out there. This goes, I think this continues on the same thread that anyone who has owned Star Trek has had no idea what to do with it.
Yeah.
Whereas Lucas had LucasArts, they were releasing video games. Shadow of the Empire is a damn good video game for the N64. I know that things came out prior to that. The SNES had Super Star Wars and Super
Yep.
like
Yep.
Empire
Super Empire
Strikes
Strikes
Back.
Back. Yep. Yep. I think there was this Return of the Jedi as well, wasn't there?
Yep.
Oh,
They've
let's see. There was
they
here you
continue to
go.
make games now. Rogue Squadron, I never played that, but it looked good.
There was a Star
Outlaws,
Trek
which I just
25th
played, that was good.
anniversary game for NES. I don't, I remember seeing that. I didn't play it. I'm looking at the list right now. Let's see. Game Gear, Genesis, Star Trek: The Next Generation, Echoes from the Past, Beyond the Nexus, Academy, Starship, Bridge Simulator. Yeah,
We
I
should start
don't.
a
This
who's who of
this is
huh?
the last. Oh, there's a 2026 game, Star Trek Voyager: Across the Unknown for Xbox Series X, PS5, and Windows.
When did the hell did that come out?
By
Or did
the
it?
yeah, I am a massive video game nerd, and there's about 30 games here, and I think I played two of these. That doesn't mean that they're not quality. It just maybe means that I didn't play them, but there's nothing here that sticks out.
It's Star Wars. And Star Wars is still
Yeah,
making video games.
yeah,
Like we said
yeah.
before, Star Wars and Lucas
This is
has
rough.
known
It's
what
a
to
rough
do
showing for Star
with this
Trek.
thing.
I honestly wish I really do wish that it had a better
There
standing
is
in
such a
culture.
fucking potential for Star. They have made so many games that are Star Trek like for instance, the Mass Effect trilogy. Now, it wasn't very Star. The way I'm saying Star Trek like is it involved space travel, it involved alien cultures, different languages, different customs. It involved building a team, building a ship, coming together. There was instances of you being on the ship and interacting with people on the ship with you. Like st there's so much there to just be like, oh, it's a Star Trek game, and you can go to a bunch of planets, and then you can bring a what's the hell they're called? A scout team, go to the planet, then you have like a smaller map. You can walk around and do shit. You go back onto the ship. You have relationships. It's open-ended. It's open world type of thing. I feel like they're just squandering this shit. But
There really are,
today, that doesn't
and
exist. So it goes
yeah,
to Star Wars.
yes. I mean, a different conversation, but I would make the argument that Star Wars doesn't exist without Star Trek, but that's another conversation for another day. All right. Well, yeah, and this is like at this point, if they're playing in the home arena for this team Star Trek, the majority of the fans have already left or are throwing things on the
This
court
is
because
the
it's
one of my favorite scenes from Simpsons when uh Homer is dressed up as Krusty the Clown, and they have the Hamburglar like character try to steal the burger, and he grabs him and just starts beating the shit out of him and slamming his head against the rock, and the kid just starts crying. Stop, he's already dead.
I know, yeah, I haven't seen in a while, but I know what you're talking about.
So yeah, Star Trek is already dead here, but let's give him maybe
The
give
last
him a chance
question.
to
This might be another fun one. Maybe they'll redeem themselves here. Are you ready? The last
I'm
question of the day, folks.
born ready.
Best ships slash vehicles slash technology.
Fuck. This is a hard one for the last one.
So vehicles, technology, weapons, phasers, lightsabers, ships, whatever. Let's
Basically, we
jump.
have you have the lightsaber and Millennium Falcon versus, and there's a
The
lot of
TIE
other
Fighter is pretty
ships.
iconic. The TIE
TIE
Fighter is pretty
fighters.
iconic.
I can't
Nobody
even
cares
throw
about the
out
Y-wing. The Y-wing is X-Wing is cool.
X-Wing,
I don't think
A-Wing.
no. That's like a deep cut. That's like, hey, you know what's a sick album, man? When they did that B-side that they played at the concert that one time back in
How about the
'73 in
N1
Hawaii.
starfighter from the Naboo? Mando flies that in the
You
Mandalorian.
have the AT-AT, right?
The AT-AT. Ugh, I really fucking hate that it's the AT-AT. Because what's the other one? The AT-ST?
Yeah,
No,
ATST. Yeah, there's some pretty popular vehicles. I mean,
there's a lot of there are a lot of iconic
the Enterprise is iconic. The
vehicles.
Bird of
The
Prey is
Enterprise.
iconic.
Yes, that's what makes this difficult. The question
The Bird of Prey is a
is
pretty cool.
is the Enterprise more iconic than the Millennium Falcon?
You mean you've
And
never
I'm not
heard
asking.
of the Millennium Falcon, ship that made the
I'm
Kessel
like,
Run in less than 12
I
parsecs?
didn't remember Christopher
She's
Walken
fast
being
enough
in
for
this.
you, old man. I'm sorry.
Wait, is that
That's
Walken
Christopher
or
Walken.
Shatner?
That's Chris.
This
That's the Christopher Walken SNL bit where
would be
it was
Shatner as
the
I
lost
prefer
audition of
I prefer Shatner as Han Solo.
It's fast enough for you. I prefer William Walter Matthau as
Hey, who are you calling? Scruffy looking Nerf fighter.
was it who was Walter Matthau supposed to be auditioning for? Oh, he was supposed to be auditioning for Obi-Wan. They, I can't even do it. They hide the numbers. What the hell is a Jawa? I can't do it. I can't do it. I'd have to go back and watch it. Yeah.
That this is difficult because
The
Star
phasers are pretty iconic.
Destroyers,
The communicators are pretty cool, right?
fucking Death Star.
Yeah.
Is a phaser cooler than a lightsaber?
The
This is how I break
the
it
tr
down.
I mean,
Considering the
yeah, I'd
first,
rather own. Well, unless you're a Star
I
Trek
guess,
fan.
or the communicator that was a woman's razor.
Beam me up. And that sound that was pretty cool.
The sound is very cool. I'm like, do I want that sound as my text message? And it got so annoying so fast.
Oh, you had it? Yeah, I thought that was a
I,
joke.
I set it up for a couple of seconds. I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah, that would get old quick.
Scotty, you've got to beam us up
You've got to
now.
the transport room, right? The whole
That was so
beaming.
fucking
That's
cool.
that's pretty iconic in science
There's
fiction
not
lore.
there's not a family travel experience that I have where I haven't said, because probably I'm just a
Scotty beamed me
cringy dad,
twice last night.
where I'm it was
It was wonderful.
they're
Sorry, go ahead.
making the sequel.
Yes, I
Um,
know.
I have often made bad dad jokes about hope wishing there was a, transporter
No
like
more
in Star
beaming.
Trek.
This time I'm gonna walk.
It's just right next door.
Why did somebody tell me my ass was so big? Um, yeah, I'm
It's
looking. I'm
very
trying to
hard.
think of vehicles. I don't know about vehicles. I don't know what vehicles are in Star Trek. I
So
mean, like
so as
vehicles
far as
is
I'm concerned, if I'm doing this as scientifically as possible, and I throw out Millennium Falcon,
yeah.
TIE Fighter,
Hmm.
Death Star,
X-wing.
X-Wing, and Star Destroyer. I'm gonna throw out five.
At. Yeah.
Okay, six. Now let's
Land
name.
speeder.
Okay, seven.
I'm
Name
just making your case for you more.
name name
Seven.
one ship that. I mean, the Enterprise takes down one of them. So
Can I
okay,
can I say the original Enterprise and the Next Generation Enterprise, or is it still one
sure,
ship? That's two,
sure.
right? The Bird of Prey,
It's three.
the Borg, his ship, even though it's
It
basically a
was a
cube.
fucking cube.
Um,
I don't know how that flew. But the cube, that's fun. Actually, it's kind of
like
funny.
how that flew, as in literally flew through space, or how that flew as like who signed off on making it a fucking cube on the production team?
I just,
Like, how did
I
that
just,
fly? Do you mean it in
I
the
feel
literal
like
sense, or
someone went out there because this was the 90s, right? So they did
yeah,
a line of Coke and
yeah.
they said, you know how Star Wars had that giant ball? What if our bad guy had a giant cube? And they said, that's fucking brilliant. And and there you go.
You know what the
The
funny
cube
thing
was
is?
born.
That's really funny to me, but I'm letting it kind of just, sit in my head for a second, and I feel like you might not be that far off. Like you actually might be.
Like, what if
I can
it's a
picture.
cube? And then one
All right,
one
all right,
idiot in the background
all
is
right.
like, what if it's a
So
rhombus? I'm like, shut the fuck
what?
up, Carl. Doesn't make any
What does
fucking sense. No one knows what a rhombus is.
what does what does Star Wars have? They've got no, they've got the Death Star. And what is the Death Star? It's a giant ball. What do we have? A fucking cube, right angles.
Right angles. They're, you know what? They're all humans on the other place? Nuh-uh, not here. They're cyber organic people. Everything's right, right angles, because that's what fucking machines do. They like crisp, clean angles. Brilliant. Start writing it. Too late. I already got it. Here's a
Okay, so
model.
let's move on from the vehicles. I'll give the ship's vehicles to Star Wars. But what about the
There's a
technology?
cube.
It's a
Uh,
cube. It's a fucking cube in
It
space.
was like Vanilla Ice trying to explain the difference between Ice
Mars
S
goes,
Baby. It,
it's not the same.
it's not the same. They have a sphere. We have a cube. It's not the same.
Ice, calm down. Ice,
Ice, don't hurt us.
stop. Ice. Um,
He almost killed Chris Kattan.
yeah, you might be doing him a favor.
God
Um,
damn you.
um,
You cannot have the mango. Yes.
I will. Okay, but what about? Okay, so let's play with the technology. You want to do your here's the seven ships, whatever, right? Let's do the same game with the
Tech
technology. You have the
technology's cooler in Star Trek.
yeah. I'm gonna I'm gonna
They had
just
those little fucking comms.
Captain's log. Yeah, I mean, can how cool would it have been if Darth Vader did a Darth's log?
Darth Log, my fucking son got away again.
Today, my son, I had to kill
My
Admiral.
scalp is so itchy from that fucking fire on Mustafar. The
I
lotion
meant to
doesn't
tell
help.
you, a friend of mine recently was telling me that he ran into Kylo Ren in the shower. I don't know if I told you this. He said he was
Oh,
shredded. He said he had an eight pack.
your friend Eddie is a liar. Kylo Ren's a fucking nerd.
Okay, boomer. Uh, I'm going to throw this point, and we're getting okay, Boomer. My name is Matt. I'm a radar technician. I'm going to throw this point to Star Trek because it's already decided, and I want them to have like to be able to hold their heads up high. I don't. Which way do you want to go? It's you're free to
Oh, in
choose.
total?
Yeah. No, no, no. For this last question,
Well, also the
I'm gonna
last
throw
question.
it.
I'll let we
Yeah,
continue going down. I mean,
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
throw it to
have to
Star
go with
Trek.
Star Wars because I'm comparing
Oh.
after. So ships go to Star Wars,
Yeah.
technology goes Star Trek, but then we're talking
Okay.
about like um oh shit. Well, we're talking
What are
about
you?
weapons too,
Yeah.
or no, we're not. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Ships
So
technology.
tech,
Web. Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I'm like I'm thinking about like tech, like electronics and stuff.
It could, well, yeah,
The
it's kind of
warp
all encompassing.
core, but then I'm thinking about like lightsabers are so much fucking cooler than blasters. No one's ever who's picked up their phone and went pew pew. But no, you pick up a fucking roll of paper towel, or you
I'm
finish
sorry. What are you
you
doing with that roll of paper towels?
well
Paper mache. What? Why does John have a roll of paper towels with
pick up.
a...
Has anyone ever picked up a large cylindrical object and not pretended it was a lightsaber?
Oh, that's where you were going with it.
That's
Okay,
where I was
sorry.
going.
Hey, why is there a rubber band with a paper towel on the other end? Uh, sorry. All right. All right. We gotta get back on track here. Yeah, yeah, no. I mean, all kidding aside, yeah, yeah. The lightsaber, um,
It's
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
amazing.
It's not as amazing as my Schwartz ring that I have, but the lightsaber is amazing. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I never, as a kid, ever
It's not the size of the Schwartz, it's how you use
see
it.
a Schwartz as big as mine. There was never a, like you go to the Toys R Us and buy the Klingon phaser or
I thought, well,
Kirk's phaser, right? It's just nobody did that. The
yes,
communicator I've seen in stores, right? Hey, go buy
yes.
the communicator and stuff
Hey,
like
little
that.
Timmy, would you like a phaser or a fucking Han Solo's
Fucking
blaster?
or a purple lightsaber that like makes a sound. Yeah, I mean
Fucking laser sword.
when my kids were younger, I mean they're teenagers now. When they were younger, they had the ones the lightsabers where you could hit them together and they'd make the noise, and it was
Yeah, I
awesome.
literally had
We turned the
lightsaber
lights
battles
off. We would go in the
with my
basement,
kids.
turn the lights off, and just use the light from the lightsaber because it was awesome.
He
Yeah,
would hop around. You would tell him he doesn't know how strong the power of the dark side is. Join me.
I told him I had the high ground, and then he didn't listen. I chopped
I will
his,
complete your
his legs
destiny.
off. I think
It's
it was
just
your
your
was,
son. I can't believe you left your son just a stump in the basement floor. It's
and
like
he
what you
told
did
me
to
he
your
hated
brother.
me. He told me he hated me. I hate you.
I hate you. You
Um,
turned mom against me.
you were the chosen one.
You
Yeah.
will try.
Oh my God. We're
I'll
just
keep
so
going.
far. We're so far gone. All right,
You're
I'm
my
gonna wrap
brother,
it up here.
Anakin. You were
You
meant to
were
bring
the
balance to the Force, not
you were
leave it
not
in tatters.
Qui-Gon fucked it up for everybody, if we're being honest. All right, we have lost the plot here, folks. I don't even know if we can redeem ourselves. We have lost as badly as Star Trek has. Okay, so the final score, folks. I'm gonna try to salvage this here.
Harlem
The
Globetrotters
Star Wars ends the contest with a 15 point with a whopping 15 points over
and the Washington
only
Generals,
7 points for Star
7
Trek.
points.
It was close for a little bit there, but yeah, they ran away with it at the end, and that's
Star
even.
Trek
I love
needs
Star.
to
I
do
want to be
more.
clear. I like. I am a very Star Wars is more fun for me, but some of the movies, Star Trek movies, speak to me on a much more on a much deeper level, if that makes sense. The themes, right? Like you were talking about them
Yes,
before, racism
yes.
and
It's
utopia.
oh
It's a
God,
much
we could have that
yeah,
future. We
yeah.
could. We'll never get it. We're gonna just
The
be owned by major corporations and spend our lives
subscriptions, yeah.
in
Um,
the subscription-based model while fighting
I,
off
I
xenomorphs. But anyway,
I think the themes are deeper. I'll put it this way. I'll simplify it. I think the themes are much deeper in Star Trek, and that speaks to me more. That doesn't make it more fun or better. I just connect with it more because of those reasons. But Star Wars is more fun. But I just want to. The point that I'm trying to make is that, again, as always, this doesn't mean that I think one is better and one's bad. I legitimately enjoy Star Trek a lot, but
yeah,
it
I'm
didn't win this
I
contest. I'm sorry.
I like them both. I just I just love Star Wars. I've always loved
Star Wars
Star
is
Wars.
more
I've
is the
liked
fun
Star
one.
Trek, but
Star
I've
Star
always,
Trek's a little
damn it,
more
Jim.
thinking. You green-blooded son of a bitch.
I'm a
All right.
doctor, not an architect.
Last question here before we wrap it up because we've just lost the plot,
Wrap
folks.
it up,
Wrap it
B.
up. Which is your, here it's an open-ended question. You can go any way you want with this. Do you have, out of everything,
Diagonal.
one specific favorite series, or do you have a specific movie or show? Which one out of everything? The Next Generation,
Oh,
pick one or two movies or whatever, one of each, whatever. Hey, this movie is my favorite. This series is my favorite. I love these. What you have one that you want to personally
I,
call out for your favorite or
I will
favorites?
personally call out my, while I loved so many of the Star Wars TV shows, I
Hmm.
will call out this show because I really do believe it is, it's just absolutely excellent. And it's Andor. It is fan fucking tastic. And it's so timely that I believe they asked, I believe it's Tony Gilroy. I
Okay.
hate the if I'm wrong, but I felt like they asked him something about like, the fact that it was culturally relevant and themes and things that were going on. And they're like, we were writing this before this stuff was happening.
Right.
But
Right.
Andor is so fucking timely right now, and it was just masterfully acted. Um, I couldn't recommend it enough. I know some people have shit on some of the Star Wars live action stuff. People complain about Ahsoka or this one or that one. I love them all, but Andor is just so good. It's so good. I don't even think you need to necessarily be a Star Wars super fan to enjoy Andor. You'll miss some of the deeper cuts, but I
Right.
think you could enjoy it without um, having watched just as much Star Wars as I have in my life. I mean, I've been reading Star Wars books, new canon books, so I'm deep into it. But yeah, that's what I'm going to call out. What about you?
Uh,
Anything?
as far as I'm gonna have to say, I do the OG Star Trek movie series. I look at Star Trek 2 and 3 as basically one long movie. I know it's not, but if you if I edited it to and just didn't make a break in between 2 and 3, it's one big movie. And I love those movies. They speak to me a lot. I mean, Star Trek 2 is more goofy, but Star Trek 3 has kind of got, themes of loss and what you do for your friendships and redemption and things like that. And I love them. I love Star Trek 3. I know it's not necessarily a lot of a fan favorite. I know 2 is basically the movie for the OG series, but Star Trek 3 is actually one of my personal favorites that I always go back to. As far as Star Wars, it's I don't know. I can't go wrong with Empire Strikes Back or Rogue One. I I I was surprised. I thought a lot more people would love Rogue One, but I think I think it's a great movie. I think it was
I think it was the
perfectly
first
played.
time they didn't know what to expect from a movie with Star Wars, and the fact that there was no lightsabers except at the end.
You,
People
you,
probably were like, "What?"
you know what I liked about, I'll tell you when, I mean, I liked it the entire time, but what really solidified my opinion about Rogue One was at the end where, again, spoiler alert, sorry, um, when Jin is on the beach, right, with Cassian, right? Is it Cassian?
Yes, yeah,
Um, and you've been so trained by this point. You've watched the original three movies, you've watched the three prequels, right? You're like, the heroes always get away. They're gonna survive. Han's frozen, but he'll be fine. He got his hand cut off, but he'll be fine, right?
yes,
So trained by that point to think they're gonna be fine. Somehow it's gonna work out, like James Bond, right? They're gonna get out of this. How we don't know, but they'll get out of it. But then when I
yeah,
slowly the realization came across that, oh, they're on the beach. Oh, they're going to die. They are not
yes.
getting on this.
They're
I said,
killing the main characters.
I was listen, that is not the only reason I like the movie, but I said I'm in because they finally did something different that I wasn't expecting, and I respect it. I liked it
They took
regardless,
a
but
risk.
yeah, and I love that. I thought it was a great choice. And then I was sold by that point, but then when they had Darth Vader just open up a can of intergalactic whoop ass, I was like, oh my God, this is the best ending I've ever had. First they kill him, and then they bring him back. I love that movie.
Yes.
Yeah, those three would be my four would be
All
my
right.
favorites. All right, folks, we apologize if there's anybody left. Whoever's left, no one's left. It's just you and me talking to ourselves. All right.
Perfect.
Anything you want to add here before we finally mercifully end this for people out there listening?
No, just remember, uh,
Oh
Jedi
yes,
mind tricks
plugs,
don't
please go
work for
ahead.
me. Only credits.
Oh, I do want to give a shout out. We did have a new joiner, well, a couple ones, but one specifically, Dave. Actually, our old Dave is out there.
Yes,
Dave
Dave.
is out there listening. Dave has subscribed. I won't say his last name because that's not fair. But Dave is out there. He has subscribed. He had a few comments. We did reply to Dave. John
Hi,
added a few more
Dave.
comments. Hi, Dave. Hi,
Hi.
Dave. Hi, Wayne. Okay. Yes, but yes. Hi. Thanks to Dave for joining and commenting. Thanks to John for commenting. A few others as well. If you haven't already, please follow us. Please subscribe. Please like our videos. Please add comments. And
Please
another thing
talk to me on
I've
social
never
media.
said this. Please, if there's anybody you think out there who actually might be interested, please recommend us to your friends, right? Point us in our direction. Don't be shy. The worst they could say is no. So if you think anybody would enjoy, send them our way. Welcome
Yeah.
to the podcast. Anything else, Jordan?
May the force be with you.
Finally, something different. Are we getting on it? May the fourth be with you in a couple weeks. All right, good journey, Jordan.
All right, good journey. Bye.
Later. Bye.